Whether you see the kids that are out there skating and gliding stars on the ice and you see how happy they are, whether you're providing information to some elderly person at the health fair that they wouldn't have otherwise had, whether you're helping somebody down in Schoharie after the floods, or when we have occasionally someone come into the club that we donated either sight or hearing aids to. You can really tell we've made an impact on that person's life.
Sight, hearing, diabetes, and youth programs are our main focus. That's our mission. That's what we're focused on.
The Gliding Stars is a skating program for challenged children and adults. We work on building self-esteem, following directions, building different muscles that would help children that maybe have cerebral palsy to walk a little bit better.
It's giving these kids an opportunity to develop and see themselves as a functioning member of society.
The amazing thing about the Gliding Stars program is not only is it funded by the Lions Club of Saratoga, but they actually come and help out, and not only the people who have probably been Lions Club members for years, but also they have a program called the Leo's Club, which gets high school students involved, which is fabulous because you have school-age kids who come to help other school-age kids.
Gliding Stars runs January through April. 1 day a week we're on the ice for about an hour. We provide different equipment to allow children with challenges to skate that otherwise would not be able to.
Sometimes they've started out and they're as little as 2, 3 years old, and they've been there 6 or 8, 9, 10 years, and you see how they've developed.
I mean, it's a program where you've got all these kids on the ice, and they are just doing their damnedest to do the best job they can, and they practice for weeks, and it just to see it all happen and come together brings tears to my eyes every time. Yeah.
And I had the 4 of us do this little vignette, and it was just our time to shine. We did like a little maybe 8 count of a couple of moves on the ice, and that was our time to shine.
I think the outstanding moments that Gliding Stars provided are just the happy memories that Morgan has now, feeling like everybody else.
Really means a lot to the kids. Like I said, I'll have those memories for the rest of my life. And it makes you feel normal. It's a really emotional situation because now as an adult, I look back and can feel like everyone else when maybe I'm in a grocery store and you see someone look at you a little funny, but you pick up on that. And I can think back and say to myself, well, when I was a kid, I skated. And that's what every kid did on their Saturday morning.
Together, we can accomplish more than we do as individuals. And when you see that, and you see the results of what you do, and you make that connect with the people that you help, and the sight that you give to people, or the hearing that you give back to them, that is the experience of the journey, and that is the enjoyment of the volunteering.
It's about, you know, moving that forward, passing on to other people the things that you've been fortunate enough to be blessed with.
I think that's where, when I see people who have received our services or the benefits of our services, or we hear about them at our board meetings, that's what makes you feel good on the inside.
Well, first memory that I could, with my vision, that I can remember is sitting at the breakfast table, and I was eating breakfast and I saw my mom, and she was filling up my bowl of Cheerios. That was my first memory.
Colin ended up being born at 24 weeks, 2 days gestation. He weighed 1 pound, 10 ounces, and he was about 13 inches long.
And he had a lot of medical issues. And on top of that, he had an eye issue. He had a condition called retinopathy of prematurity, which only children who are born prematurely get.
His eyes were still fused. We didn't even really know if his eyes were developed.
And when you think about, you know, a 1 pound, 10-ounce lobster that you would order, he truly was that size. His chest was the size of my wrist. His coloring was like an uncooked lobster.
We were absolutely terrified because we really didn't know what we were getting into. He was so very premature.
Looking at his survival rates of less than 30% survival rate, going through blood sepsis, watched his heart rate go to 0 numerous times, watched him stop breathing numerous times, and get to the point where he can bring him home. Second thing was his first day of school. Because all of the challenges and issues we went through. Just because we brought him home, that didn't mean everything ended. Sorry.
Having the Lions Eye Institute there for us as parents of a child with vision issues was so reassuring to know that they were just a 40-minute drive for us, and no matter what time of the day or night, we could always call and somebody would meet us at the Institute.
Mom would always load me up in the car and take me down, and really the Lions Club was there whenever I needed them, you know, hand in hand through everything.
The Lions Eye Institute has done great things for us, and as you see, Colin has progressed over the years, and even though we've kind of stabilized right now with his eyesight, we still rely on the Eye Institute to help us, to give us guidance, and when we do have problems, we just automatically go to them with basically no questions asked.
I think that all Lions should know that they're participating in a tremendously worthy cause, and that there are real people behind these stories.
But the first thing that would come to mind is thank you, you know, for everything that they've done and how it's impacted me in my life, you know.
We know that's the reason why we do these things, because it makes us feel good. We don't do them because it's just work. We do it because it's a feeling that you walk out of there of satisfaction, of self-gratitude that, boy, did something great.
You know, you're going to feel good at the end of the day knowing that you made that difference, whether it's small, large, every little bit helps.
We're not asking for the plaudits, we're not asking for awards, but we are asking for money to support our cause, and that's what we have to do.
Owen is 9, and he'll be 10 in September, and he is wonderful. He is an avid reader. He reads faster than I do and reads all the time. That's his favorite thing to do. He plays piano. He plays bass, starting this year. He played bass also. He plays soccer, and he does everything that any parent would be tickled pink with their kid for. So. When Owen was 2 days old and we were in the hospital, the nurse noticed that in our very dark room there happened to be a cloudiness in his eye, and she very gently called in the ophthalmologist. The thing that I remember the most was at 4 days old, bringing this precious little baby to see Dr. Simon and laying him out for this doctor to see, and him telling me that my baby in fact was blind in his eye, that my baby was blind. And he looked at me and could tell that it was so hard to hear that news. And his words were wonderful. He said, I understand that this is devastating, but it's going to be okay, and we're going to help you. And it is a real benefit, a real blessing to have all of those people who have come together to support that cause and gather those professionals together.
The monies that come in, the support that our foundation has for the Lions Eye Institute, for one, helps to make it one of the top 10 ophthalmology centers in the country.
I look at stories like that and I feel honored to be able to provide care for patients who really need it, who are referred to me because I'm part of the Lions Eye Institute, and I think it's a service that we provide to the community, to a broader community through our resident graduates, and the world community through our research.
Imagine bringing home your brand new baby. Imagine finding out that your baby is blind, or that your baby has some sort of vision problem, and you are distraught and you are lost and you are hopeless for just a little while. And then to find out that there is this group of people that has taken it on as their purpose to help your child. There is no greater cause than that.
Life is tough for a lot of people, and we are incredibly blessed to be where we are in this country, in this community, and let's do something to help someone else along.
When I think back to the time that Owen was born, and I remember hearing the words that he had potential for vision, I thought to myself, that means that there is no vision. That means that he's blind. And realizing that somebody could help my kid, I remember being so incredibly grateful and so willing to put myself into the hands of these people and hand over my child to them and say, oh my gosh, please help him and fix his problem. And thanks to them, they have given him an awesome head start in life.
Being a Lion is probably one of the best things I've ever done. The idea is that, there again, we're helping people, and I believe, or I feel, that being blind has got to be one of the worst things in the world. And I think that's why a lot of us do what we do, and hearing too. Blind or sight conservation, hearing conservation, now diabetes and youth, these things that we do, I don't think there's anything that we could do to help mankind that would be any better than what we do.
The Lions Club has to realize and know and understand that they truly do have an effect on people. And the effect that they have on people are during their quote-unquote darkest times.
All the things that the Lions Club does, I don't know if everybody realizes all the amazing things that they do and where that money goes.
We've got vision, we've got hearing, we've got diabetes, and we've got the youth in the community. And I think those are the focuses that we have to maintain.
And we will use every single penny, 100 cents on the dollar, to do good in this community. And the money stays local.
So I know that if I were considering a major gift and I wanted to ensure its longevity, that it was going to be paid attention to by people who care, the Lions Club is second to none in the community.
I want to say thank you because there's nothing else that I can say except for thank you. You guys gave him a chance that I never even knew existed until I needed it. And the second I needed it, you guys were there. So, thank you.